Good morning and welcome to today's meditation. We call it Be the Light Meditation. I'm Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light Healing Arts. And Be the Light, Sound and Light Healing Arts, everything ties into vibration. And we are learning now that we are these vibrational beings at our core. So if you can understand vibration, you can understand consciousness, you can understand life, and then you can lasso it and hold it and harness the horsepower for your intentions to become reality. And that's what we do here. We consecutively every week work with any limitations of our old perceptions and our old personalities and things that we've been taught that would limit this truth, this physics, this mathematic formula that I've used called Be the Light, which allows you to hold on to the reins of your existence, which is multifaceted, multidimensional, and we are so bombarded with vibrations, agendas, and stories all day long that somehow it seems like a dichotomy, doesn't it? To understand we're completely free and at will and empowered within a world that has whizzing ideas, thoughts, programs, interferences, EMFs, all the different ways, health issues, toxicities. So here we are. Imagine that you're standing in the middle and you get to choose. You get to choose. Am I able to open up to understand that I can be the authority of my existence? Well, being authority, kindergartners can't be authority. Seventh and eighth graders, some high school students, you trip and you fall. So when I say complete authority, it comes with opening to absolute truths, which dissolve mistruths and misalignment. And there's so many new age programs with nonsense. There's so many fear-based political, social, health groups that are manipulative and coercing and trying everybody on board. Why? Because it gives them the authority, the power, and the money and resources. So we're finally learning that we are driving the ship of our consciousness. And what does that entail? And what does it require? Oh, those are good words. Thank you, Spirit. I have a little bit of allergies here today popping through after all the rain. New weeds are coming. You think you get them all with the vinegar, and new weeds come. And that truly is the nature of life. New experiences, new opportunities, new growth, and new potentialities are yours in every moment. It's just so different from an old religious-based parents telling you, this is what we do. This is what good girls do. This is what good girls don't do. And it can become so like a bowling alley, until eventually you get to a point where you're holding this bowling ball and you say, I don't want to hold the bowling ball. I don't want to be in this alley. And I don't want to just get married and do this or whatever the religious situation or patriarchal or, local constraints for freedom, whatever they are. I'm just talking about the female ones because I happen to come in that package in this lifetime. But what does it entail? It entails waking up, being aware and alert to the vastness of choice, the absolute moment-to-moment pristine presence of rechoosing, of observing with that emotional reaction, and actually enjoying by observing and taking yourself out of the fray, all that is. And I'll give you an example. I drove up today and I came to my office a little bit early, so I didn't have to rush. I noticed when I rush, I don't see the people on the street. I don't see the elderly attorney who still goes to his office regularly out on his little walk, or the architect going out for his soup and looking hungry and rushing and coming back. I'm turning off this annoying little feature right now so I can focus. Or the semi-homeless person looking with vacant, needy eyes. You just miss the nuances, the beautiful ways of expressing their humanity. And that's just the people. There's the smells. There's the gorgeous little rusting out 2 little seats. It's a bistro cafe set that I said, oh, I'd really love to have that in my garden. It's perfect. And my imagination can go wild and I could take a picture. I could search for this. You don't do that if you have an agenda and you're in a hurry and you're going from A to B. So being responsible is to first slow down. And that's what it entails. Stilling your mind of your agenda and even who you are, and just being a casual observer so that through choice, your attention can go to exactly what interests you and tweaks passion and joy. And this is the difference. The old way was, well, where do I need to focus on to feel safe? Okay, that's the primal way, to make sure that tiger's not lurking, to make sure some person's not going to hurt me or rip me off. We absolutely know that that is our creation. Everything we think is how we are. It's who we become. So what if we stop thinking? And what if we just walk from our car as a tourist on planet Earth? Oh, how interesting. Look. Oh, look, there's a movie. Oh my God, it's just perfect for me. Okay, take a picture of that QR code. Well, actually, they say it's playing, it's not playing. How interesting. They're not keeping up with what's a small town? It's a gorgeous little theater and, half run by volunteers, I imagine. And you just notice everybody is doing their best in that moment to keep it together. You just look at them. Their eyes are in their world, in their bubble, their agenda and their focus. And then you re-choose that you are in a bubble of calm and observation and at choice to choose what to experience. When you're in a hurry, you don't smell that damp, mossy green stuff that grows on the sidewalks in the Pacific Northwest. You probably would get used to it. But if you're awake, you think, oh my God, it's extra dank today. Look at the clouds. Feel the density of the cloud covers. I'm spending a lot of time on this because we're learning to not rush, to appreciate the nuances of the creations. I'll say that again. Appreciate the subtle nuances of the creations within your environment in that moment. That's why it's fun to travel. New stimulation. That's how you keep your brain's making new pictures and new similarities and contrasts and decisions. That's how we stay young. But that's how we age when there's too much and there's stress and pressure behind it of any kind. So we're talking about cutting the strings of efforting and tension and unconscious and conscious resistance to what is and constantly pressing our needs for safety or this perfect experience or whatever it is. I swear, I'll never forget. I grew up in a large family, and you just appreciated food. Whoever made it tastes good. It's good enough. And you appreciate that, okay, the house is clean enough. The bathtub is clean enough. And we had some guests from the East Coast, and when they arrived, I'm this California girl. I opened the door, and they're dressed from top to bottom. And I remembered that my husband at that time went to an Ivy League school. Oh my God, ding dong, California, we don't think about these things. And most of her conversation is where she gets the perfect meat, and everything is compared to that perfect meat. And when they took a bath, she had to clean the ring around the bath. I know, what ring? Anyway, my eyes opened to that some people live life saying things have to be in this realm right here for me to feel okay, to respect myself, to have the best, whatever it is, some thing that they've created in themselves. When the true joy comes from experiencing life with a curiosity, with an openness and an appreciation, an absolute appreciation. So I'll tell you one more quick story. There was a time in my life where I liked this certain guy. You know how it is, you think this person is perfect for me, and he's the one. And I said, I'm not getting out of this bathtub until Spirit tells me why I can't be with him. I thought it's a perfect match. It was my will. It was my own fantasy. And Spirit said, you will love this person. No, you will love every other person as you feel that you love this person. Interesting. What? So I was focused that that's where love goes, with this person. Okay. And so I said, okay, I got out of the bath. My fingers were all wrinkled and everything. I don't know how many hours that took, but I was deep in my spiritual path, and I listened. And I went to the grocery store. And there was this lady at the checkout with the crazy hat and crazy gloves. And times past, I would have looked at her and said, oh, what a nut job. Oh my God, look at how she dressed. But I took my assignment seriously. And my heart opened and said, I looked at her and I said, I love you as much as this person who I think I absolutely, love. I didn't realize wasn't love. So I opened my heart, and she looked at me, and she could feel the love, and the kindness just began to flow and love. So I said, oh my God, I went to a deli, and this Indian couple, I said, I want an egg salad sandwich. And I sent love as she was making it, and she delivered that egg salad sandwich as if it was the Holy Grail to me. And I received it with such immense appreciation and love. And so there it went. Instead of clogging our heart with their ideas of what love and pleasure is, crack your heart open and love everyone as much as you love your beloved daughter, your mother, everyone. So then the lesson continued. I was with this person for a few years, and it was fun but agony. It was a destined relationship learning. And at the end, I said, now what, Spirit? It appears we are finished. My heart was like, okay. And Spirit said, no, you will love this man as you love everyone else. In other words, there's no special person clogging up your heart. So in what way do you need to crack your heart open from all of your little ideas of, well, this sort of man I need to love to make me happy. He has to be this tall, and he has to have this much money, and it'd be better if he had property. Screw that. Get your own property. Love someone who's short if you have the resonance and love and you're curious, and let him be authentic, or she. We are at a time where it is important to understand that being our authentic self, without the stories, without the bowling alley, and we're absolutely free. And they have just done studies, and I saw it, it is legitimate, that they put people in Faraday cages that measure vibrational eminence and frequencies. When people are filling their heart open with love, it actually lights up. But when they're being absolutely authentic, with no prison of, well, I'm worried about what they'll think, or I want them to, all of that, when you're absolutely free and authentic and speaking, bam, the whole cage lights up in brilliance. So what does that tell us? Being free is being yourself. It is being that authentic being with your voice, your feelings, your experiences, and just being present without the veils and layers of thoughts and patterns. And I think of it as old clothes weighing us down. So that is today's meditation. To be authentic is to be free. To be free is to be authentic. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And it's Zach Bush that actually announced that. I'd heard it before, but when he did it, he's a very credible person. Understanding mind, body, spirit connection. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We put ourselves in a beautiful hold-on of balance. Only energies of the highest light may be in this space now. We ask to still our mind, and now we ask to still the stilling of the mind. So there's no activity, no action in the frequency field of your brain. And you can do this. Go to the 0 point, still point, now. You're in the observation, curious mode. And suddenly you're feeling your breathing. You're one with your body. And now you're so much more than this body. Take your attention to your heart, which is the headquarters of your consciousness, your oversoul, your sacred heart. And dive into that pool of light, into that frequency field that is chiseled and faceted to the perfection of a child of our Creator, of a free being, a curious child, open, one who laughs hysterically at nonsense, one who tries colors on the board or on the wall or on the table, paints colors that don't match because it would be interesting to try it. One who crosses the midline, what I mean by that, doesn't stay in his or her lane, but a child of the Creator who's constantly reorganizing their brain, right and left brain, emotions, analysis, analytical, but passionate, to recreate a new reality for themselves that is colorful, creative, and infinitely expanding. Never stopping. Just like those weeds, they get that water and there they go. Your water for your growth is letting go, becoming childlike, opening your mouth and trying foods, even if you think, well, I don't like that food, or that's not from the good meat shop. Taste the food of loving hands prepared for you. And in this state, you feel the resonance of things and people and places, so you know where it feels good to be, what foods feel good, and what the thoughts were of the person making it going in that food, which might be something you never considered before. So imagine that your heart is this puzzle piece of things that are safe and predictable. And this is what I do, and I know this brings me happiness. And watch it just being released, unlocked. All the ideas of what you thought made you happy when it was just as simple as not having an idea of what makes you happy. Ungluing everything, because we know people who run after materialistic happiness never find it. There's never enough. There's always more and more and more and more. But if you are creating with what is infinite joy, when you are curious in allowing for things to be what they are, what is, and reorchestrating that in creative ways of truth, beauty, love, and goodness, it is stunningly joyful to find the old Cupcake Vineyard sign and to think, oh, that's so perfect for the barn party to put next to the old truck and a hay bale and to write the name of our farm on it and to put ribbons, and oh my God, I see it in my mind, joy, and it's $9.95 at Habitat for Humanity, and I'll put it in my car. Joy, expansion, elements. And it's not getting the best and the brightest according to someone else. It's seeing the potential because of your curiosity. What could I do with that sign? And the same way with people, curious. What are they bringing right now into their lives? How are they showing up? Who are they? And then the next step is, can I show up for them in a way that is so authentic and real that they can stop thinking for a moment? That they can be with me in this bubble of joy, opportunity, and possibility. And this is how we change the world. By being this fractalating party ball. No, actually, it's a prism of the geometry of our divinity mixed with our experiences and ideas and our creative imagination, all flowing through, where this has a great magnetic resonance. And this brings in colleagues, friendships, outings, joy. When I say you can change the world by focusing on joy, because it's contagious and it has an eminence about it, and it emanates light, and it's very queenly as well. It is sitting in your throne. That's the image I like, the archetype. As a queen of your own life. Not someone else's life. It's not competitive. There's enough for everybody. It'd be great if we all are sitting in our thrones. Men, women, free and observing and creatively expressing, which is why our Creator made Earth. Free will of people running around creating theater, creating architecture, creating monuments for what is good in the world. This is a palette. And no matter what people are painting at present, you can bring heavenly images and creations that have a way of shining the light and the truth in a way that makes people think, oh, I want that, and I don't want that. And this is how we will be agents for greater shifts towards greater light if we choose to be the light and enjoy ourselves. And so it is. Take a deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And when usually I'll say something like, let's create a big white screen and let's see what you want to create. No, today's is let go, move through any need to experience things a certain way, and just authentically observe and be curious. This week, it's about being a child and not knowing anything. So you can't predict it or assume or judge. It's being open. This is the first stage. This is the first thing to growing into to be a grown-up master spiritual being. Remember I said it takes steps, and first we would look and see what it took, and then we would take that responsibility. We're taking steps into expanded, curious freedom. You have permission to be childlike all week. And if you're watching this YouTube, let me know how it went, right in the comments later. Okay, so we're finishing this session, this meditation session of Be the Light. I am Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light Healing Arts. And for those that are well on their spiritual path and ready, I do offer a special coaching program called Becoming Queen. And it's for 6 weeks, 1 hour a week, a personal, to just kind of fine tune your alignment with your own queendom, which is different than everybody else's, of course. All right. Thanks for joining me today.